LaCroix.
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good, good. Thank you so much for agreeing to this interview.
Yeah, no problem. No problem at all.
I want to get started. Um, so you joined your journey started with the U.S. under 18 men's national team in 2009.
Yeah, I did some youth stuff with the U.S. team before that, but that's like much younger youth soccer. So,
Right, right. You're
mhm,
referring to how you were team captain of the under 15 team and under eight,
mhm.
oh no, under 15 and under 16 team. And prior to, you were part of the under 14 boys national team.
Yeah, yeah,
And you were coached by Tab Ramos, former
yeah,
US.
yeah.
So tell us about that.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal experience. Just fortunate due to circumstances. I grew up in New Jersey, small town, New Egypt, New Jersey. I played rec soccer with the local team. His son was about the same age as myself, and he was coaching another local township team. He brought some teams together and established a club, NJSA '04. And yeah, we got together, became a club team, and was training with him from young age. I don't even remember what age I started with him as my coach, but my entire youth career, he was my coach growing up. And to learn from him, like the pedigree that he has, the experience that he has, yeah, that was an amazing experience and a great way to start my early playing career.
Absolutely. So he set the foundation.
Yeah, he helped set the foundation. Yeah.
University of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
You were a dual sport athlete.
No, not in college. In
Lawrence,
high school,
you
yes.
played
In high
indoor
school, I
and
ran
outdoor track.
track. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You played indoor and outdoor track, and you won a title in 2010 at the Penn Relays. I guess that's why I got mixed up. My apologies.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and you ran the 4x400.
Yeah, yeah. I did a bunch of events, but that was the event we actually. I don't even know. We definitely won our heat, and qualified for a later race. I'm not sure exactly, like, because for Penn relays at the high school level, there's a lot of different like categories, criteria. I don't even remember like what specific category we won and qualified for and did well in. But yeah, the 4x400 was one of the better track events.
Okay, good, good. And then you played for the University of Pennsylvania for 2011 to 2015. You
Hmm.
enrolled in the School of Engineering, but you ended up graduating in May 2015 with a degree, with a
Hmm.
bachelor's degree in sociology.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there's quite a funny story about that. I'm not sure how in depth we want to go here, but I started engineering. Very naive kid. I enjoyed physics, math, the sciences. Got to school, and then part of me wanted to. I mean, obviously, I'm in this career now, but I knew I wanted to play soccer. So the focus and the shift that had to happen academically to focus on this was kind of the decision I had to make at that time. And to get a degree from the University of Pennsylvania and the pivot that I ultimately did end up making, still kind of fits in my own personal philosophy and what I enjoy doing. So although it was a change, it was an enjoyable one. I'm glad I was able to make that shift and still be able to play soccer and then focus on that aspect of my life at that time.
okay. Since we're in this subject, I just want to pivot a little bit. What are your thoughts on NIL and the landscape of college sports today?
Um, I think that's a great question. It's difficult to say because one, they're still very new and it's still kind of being fleshed out as far as like the legal ramifications, the impact, what it actually all means. And we're living in this gray area where college athletes are professionals. Before, they were treated as professionals, like in terms of the amount of hours, the commitment you had to do, what was expected of you day in, day out. You were a student athlete, but very much so, like at some places, you're athlete, then student. Where as now players are being compensated and athletes and competitors being compensated for that and kind of the attention and notoriety that they can drive themselves, even in the smaller, excuse me, in the smaller sports or smaller performance activities, they can still generate income for themselves, which is an amazing thing. But understanding the dichotomy in institutions kind of need to figure this out themselves. Are they institutions for academics, or are they professional institutions where these athletes can compete? And right now, there's still the crossover because, for example, I guess football is a big one, but the University of Alabama or like the University of Florida, they're colleges, but at the same time, you're kind of a profession. You're being paid to do this service. So drawing cleaner lines would definitely be important. But I think it's phenomenal for the athletes, given the time. I personally know the time that it takes to be a professional athlete. Like you should be compensated for it, and the type of revenue that certain sports and athletes bring in for the university, they can be compensated for it more appropriately.
Okay. Now, I want to pick into your brain as far as sociology. What's the
Mm-hmm.
what's the social economic aspect of this? Many people would argue that once the revenue started going towards like, the little guy, you know,
Mm-hmm.
big heads like Nick Saban and other institutions started getting angry and CAA started getting angry.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they say capitalism is supposed to benefit the people at the top. So
Mm-hmm.
what's your take?
Um, I think it's a bit different where similar, but I think the idea being the wealth is being spread about more equitably, where before a lot of, and you can kind of think a lot of the people and the student athletes who are going into sports generally, a good portion of them could come from less advantaged economic backgrounds. And so to say, hey, here's your education that you don't have to play before is like, hey, you got a full scholarship and you can go and attend a university you wouldn't have otherwise have had access to. Education, one, extremely important. The ability to have access to knowledge, extremely important. But at the same time, you're still at a financial disadvantage relative to some other people who are at the university, whether they're just normal students or whether they're also student athletes who can actually afford that education. So to see current athletes also have that education aspect be accompanied by the financial backing to better suit them in the world ahead, I think that's phenomenal because you hear horror stories or instances of where someone commits themselves to a university or an academic institution and they're performing and doing their duties as an athlete and as a student and they're set to jump in and transition their career towards something professional, then they don't have the ability to, and they get injured or something happens in their career and they can't make that change. The effort that they put in should be compensated. Then here's your education, and I think it's more prevalent in less popular sports where there's an individual athlete who does an amazing, for example, like a gymnast who might not be an Olympian but is really well known in the university and does extremely well for the university. They can then market themselves and make extra income on top of that. Whereas that same field isn't as prominent when you go beyond the university doors. There's not as the professional gym circuit isn't as profound as the collegiate gym circuit. So to be able to do that across different sports, and I know, I've talked to some athletes previously where even smaller sports are getting NIL deals because they're associated with the university and their student athlete. That prospect is exciting on the socioeconomic side of it.
Yes, absolutely. And to your point,
Mm-hmm.
I would also bring up women's basketball. I've had the pleasure of covering
Mm-hmm.
basketball, several different athletes. Um, and they say in college, women's basketball draws up more attention and more revenue, but unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
at the college, that's not always the case. Going back to your university days, towards the end of your entire career at the University of Pennsylvania, you ended with 67 starts over 68 games played. You
Mm-hmm.
graduated as the fifth most points earning player of all time,
Mm-hmm.
and third most games played by all time by a Penn player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you earned all Ivy honors all 4 seasons.
I didn't even know
The
that. Yeah.
accomplishments just stacked up. I guess
Yeah.
you lost track.
Yeah.
You were the first rookie to earn Ivy League Rookie of the Year and Ivy League Player of the Year during your career at University of Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of left quite a mark at the school.
Yeah.
Now, here's what's very interesting. You postponed the start of your professional career to finish
Mm-hmm.
your schooling. Um, and what ended up happening was almost unprecedented because you made opportunity adjust to your timing. So
Yeah.
right after you completed your studies, you had an opportunity to join and sign with the Indy 11.
Yeah. That was Yeah, that was definitely an opportunity, forcing the opportunity to meet my timing. There's one thing about my experience in school and something I'd advocate. A lot of players and athletes do know this. Finishing school early. I think with COVID, it's kind of shifted where people have the opportunity to stay in school for longer periods of time. And to the point about the NIL, some athletes are getting compensated very, very well while staying in school. So there isn't like this urge to get into the workforce or to kind of leave the bubble of the institution. But what I would advocate for people who are attending, regardless of what they're doing or where they're at, like the university life is amazing. But I definitely know in the career path that I've chosen and wanted to do, finish school early. That was something I did not prepare myself for at the time. And then I wanted my degree as well. I didn't want to, hey, I'm going to finish this later. I committed myself to earning that degree. That was one of the goals I set when I attended the university. It was like, hey, I want to have a degree when I finish here and leave here. And so the decision to stay and finish my degree and then pursue my career afterwards, that was a very tough decision, but I think one I'm happy I did. In retrospect, I just wish I prepared myself earlier to be able to leave sooner for the timing of the soccer season specifically.
Okay, okay.
Mm,
Because you had to jump right in, like you had to adapt quickly to the team.
yeah, yeah. So the what ended up happening was during my final spring senior season, um, trained myself. I stayed fit during the season. Most players, like if they're in their senior season, they don't plan on playing. They just kind of hang out and do university life and then prepare for the workforce. I was training myself, training with the team a bit, as well still, and then I would go on trials with teams. So I did two trials, one in Indiana and one in San Antonio while in school. So I'd miss a week of school, I'd go on trial, miss another week of school, go on trial. Spring break, I went on trial. And fortunately, Indy 11 was a team I ended up signing with, and they allowed me to finish school and then join the team as soon as I graduated. So literally, I graduated. I walked down the for the ceremony across the stage, and the next day I flew to Indy and started my professional career. Literally 24 hours after graduating, I was in the my first professional signed training session.
You see, I've always noticed a consistent pattern. A lot of the people who like emerge successful out of university, like their
Mm-hmm.
big break comes before they even completely finish with school. And I feel like you fall into that pattern.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely the case in my case.
Prior to joining the Switchbacks, you of course you did Indy 11 and then sorry, I have it right here. You did Orange
Mm-hmm.
County Soccer Club for one season.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah,
that's part of the USL. Matter
yeah,
of fact, you've mostly only been with the USL,
yeah. My entire career, other than the first two seasons of Indy or
right?
the season and a little bit, my entire career has been in the USL. Yeah.
Right. Reno 1868 to Charlotte Independence, um,
Mm-hmm.
to Sacramento Republic, Colorado Springs, which you are now, and then
Yeah.
of course the Haiti national team, which we'll get into
Mm-hmm.
quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah, that's a path. Been bouncing around this league for a little bit now.
Well, I mean, like you seem to like it, since like since it's fostered so much of your growth, and you're pretty much a veteran.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't say pretty much. I'm definitely a veteran of the league. Been doing this for a while now, and I think this is just kind of where the opportunities have presented themselves in a way that was suitable for where I was at in my career.
Okay. Now, you guys had a pretty rough off season with a lot of transitions. Your sports director,
Hmm.
Stephan Hogan, got fired,
Hmm.
unfortunately, and James
Hmm.
Chambers, he got fired. And this is significant
Hmm.
because Coach Hogan was your head coach when you first joined, followed
Hmm.
by James Chambers. But when Coach Stephan Hogan was no longer the head coach, he got
Hmm.
promoted to sporting
Hmm.
director. So he was still there,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Still in the building.
right.
Yeah,
So to have both of those guys, completely not be a part of the team, and they've been so pivotal, because you guys won a championship together in 2024.
yeah, yeah. They were definitely pivotal to this organization, to my own personal career. And a lot of respect for those guys for what I was able to learn from them, what they brought to the team every single day. But the decision was made by the organization to change direction and to pivot paths moving forward. And so The lack of continuity is challenging, but it is a part of the sport. And we're planning ahead as we are.
How are you coming along with the adjustments? Some people deal with change well.
Mm-hmm.
Other people may need
Mm-hmm.
some time to process it.
Mm-hmm.
So where are you at?
It's still too early to say, but I think a part of the adjustment, while it happened within this organization, as a pro and being a veteran, as we spoke about, I've been adjusting to the multiple teams you listed, the multiple coaching situations, the multiple teammates. So this isn't relatively new for my own situation. So it's still a little bit too early to tell. We've only played one game in the season so far under the new leadership, but with that being said, it's something that's expected in the sport. As a professional, you kind of have to figure out ways to adjust and get on with it.
Right. And now
Mm.
you're under head coach Alan McCain.
Yes, that's correct.
The team added your fellow Haitian national team member Garven Metusala.
Hmm. He was here last year. Actually, this is his second season
Correct.
with the team. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's great to be with Garv. I knew Garv before we started. Sorry, before we were teammates with the Haitian national team. So I knew him there. Pretty good personal connection with him, and then glad he's a part of the team here in Colorado. Convinced him to join over.
Okay, so you were responsible.
No, no, I wasn't directly responsible, but when as he was making his decision, we definitely had conversations around it. So you know, I would say that as a friend and as a teammate, we just talked about him making the decision. He ended up deciding to go this way.
Last year, you guys competed in the Western Conference Final, so you guys came so close to the championship title, but didn't quite make it
Mm.
there. But still, you still entered your postseason.
Yeah, yeah, we ended up making the playoffs. Lost to Tulsa, who eventually made it to the final. Um,
And they
yeah,
lost.
and we yeah, they lost to Pittsburgh in the final as well. So although we made the playoffs, we kind of squeaked in. We definitely felt like we fell short of our expectations at the start of the year. And that's the challenge of sports. Anytime you fall short of winning the championship, it feels like you didn't accomplish the goals you set out for yourself because that only one team can win it. When you're not that team, it doesn't feel great to not win it. So that's why we're revamping and pushing again to be that team again.
Right. So it's kind of like,
Mhm.
unfortunately, athletes have like a all or nothing mindset.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, your first game was played March 7th against, of course, your league rival, El Paso Locomotives.
Mhm.
Um, the game ended in a tie 2-2 draw. And there was a huge game day story that a lot of people missed. Um,
Mhm.
Garven Metusala and Duke LaCroix faces off against fellow Haitian national team member Carl-Fred Sainte.
Mhm. Yeah, unfortunately, Carl wasn't rostered. I'm not sure what the circumstances were behind that. But yeah, we had the opportunity to see him down there in his new club and new colors. So it's always good when you see teammates around the leagues, even though we're now on across from each other, but we still have this mutual respect of as competitors.
Absolutely. And you'll see, you
Mm.
guys are in both, well, all three of you guys share the Western Conference.
Yeah, so we'll see each other a couple times this year.
Right.
Mm.
Now with Carl, he previously played for the Phoenix Rising,
Mhm.
and he was on loan from Dallas. And
Mhm.
on Dallas, you have Deedson.
Oh yeah, yeah, he's there. He got there, I think in the summer, no, in the winter of last year. So he joined mid-season for them. But yeah, he's out there.
Right. You see this whole connection, huh? Like Haitian state.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. And now we come to the Haiti national team. You got your international call up in 2023. Tell us about that moment.
Mhm. Yeah, it was a special moment. It was a long time coming because prior to COVID, I was reached out to try to join the Haitian national team. Had some visa and passport issues that I had to try to sort, and then COVID happened, and the world kind of shut down. So that kind of put that on the back burner and postponed it. I thought at the time it wasn't meant to be. We'll see what happens. So then new coach came in, called me back in for the Gold Cup in 2021. Was it 2021? No, that was actually 2023. Yeah, and then I hurt my knee at that time, but later in the year I was able to get my first international cap. So it was kind of a roundabout way, several years in the making, in order to make this goal happen. And I was very excited. My first cap, my first goal and contribution to the Haitian national team was a very special moment. I remember talking to my parents and my family. about how great that moment was, how special it was to be representing Haiti on that stage. So that was amazing.
What sparked the inspiration to play for the Haiti national team? Of course, you're Haitian, but what made you
Mm.
get up and say, you know what, I'm going to pursue this?
Um, it's not something that you explicitly pursue. I know I have representation. I know playing, like I don't, although I can say, hey, I want to represent Haiti. One, you have to be good enough and qualified. Two, and then two, they have to be interested in your position and to be available to represent Haiti. So I can, say I want to represent Haiti until the cows come home. But if, again, the opportunity doesn't meet the circumstances, the coach might not want to call you in, or knock on wood, injuries happen, or whatever the case may be. It's not entirely up to me. And so even early prior to 2020, the idea of representing Haiti was definitely on my radar. And I would have loved to do it sooner. But that decision isn't fully my own. I'm glad that at the time when I did get the call up, kind of was able to make the most of it, and to continue to help and contribute to the team in whatever way I can. So I've been really grateful for this opportunity and happy to be representing Haiti.
Right. And again,
Yeah.
the three of you, yourself, Garvin, and Carl-Fred, you guys have been playing
Mm-hmm.
for the national team for quite some time. Like you came in 2023, Garvin
Mm-hmm.
came in 2023, and he's been playing for them since 2021. And then you have
Yeah.
Carl-Fred that came in 2022, 2023.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so there's a couple guys who've been with the national team even longer than me have. But as the players playing, we currently playing in the U.S. Like we do have um, some experience there playing for the last couple of years.
Right. And now the head coach, the newest coach, Sebastien, um,
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting because he's never stepped foot in Haiti due to all that's going on. You guys have
Mm-hmm.
had to absorb a lot of the consequences of the gang violence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And initially, when he first joined the team, he had to call you guys by phone and regulate everything. He couldn't even do like, face to face like a joint practice or something like that.
yeah. I'm not sure how it works in with every other team. I'm sure each team has their own operational contingencies, but yeah, there's a lot of phone calls, a lot of conversations. I remember the first phone call I got from the coach about, how was I feeling? Was I fit? Am I able to come in and join the team? Like he's thinking about calling me in for the camp. And so that was a great phone call to have that first conversation with him and understand where he was coming from, his approach and philosophy to the game. But yeah, to your point, it is challenging to not have the home base, to not be able to play in front of the Haitian fans in Haiti. Has been It's been a challenge, but it's something fortunately we overcame in the last couple months, couple years, in order to get to where we're currently at. So
Mhm. Have you had the
mm,
opportunity to go to Haiti like prior to all this?
I have not. So I also have not been to Haiti myself.
Okay, that's a
Yeah,
bombshell.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know you speak Creole.
No, I don't speak Creole.
Oh, you don't? Ou pas parler Creole?
No, I don't speak Creole, man.
Okay.
Sorry, sorry.
You understand it, but you won't speak it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Now currently, the president's wife, the former president of Haiti's wife, may
Mm,
God rest his soul. Uh, there's currently a trial for the people who assassinated him. What are your thoughts on
mm.
that?
Yeah, I think I don't really want to be in here to comment politically on the situation. I mostly want to be talking about soccer in this specific podcast or conversation, if that's all right.
Absolutely, that's fair. Um,
Yeah.
I know culturally it's kind of taboo to talk about politics for safety
Mm,
reasons.
mm. Yeah.
So going back to the national team conversation, tell us about that moment when you guys qualified, beating Nicaragua 2-0,
Mm,
miles away from home, unable to play at the home stadium, but still securing the victory.
mm. Yeah, still a lot of Haitian support there. The final game, I think the challenge and not the challenge, but the most emotionally exciting part of that entire situation was knowing we did our job and we still had to wait for the Honduras Costa Rica game to wrap up in Costa Rica, the 0-0 draw. And then that kind of secured our place into the for the World Cup. And so we finished our match, and then be huddling around the phone, to be waiting to hear word for what was going on. The other match was like the longest few minutes or seconds of the entire day. It was more stressful than the game itself, to be honest. But then when we did get the news officially, like we were through, yeah, just celebrate with the fans. You can see all the videos of the fans storming the field, running around, crazy, all the emotions. That was a really special moment. Even though it was far from Haiti, we still felt the support from everybody. It was
Right.
great. Yeah.
Now, you guys will be competing in Group C for the World Cup
Hmm.
against Scotland, Morocco, and Brazil.
Hmm.
And to much of a lot of people's surprise, you guys aren't scheduled to play in Haiti.
Play in Haiti?
I'm sorry, play in Miami.
Oh, in Miami. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure who does the scheduling or the match calendar. But yeah, playing in Florida, in Miami specifically, would have been great. There have been so many Haitians out there for sure. But we got a lot of northeastern games: Philly, Boston, and then Atlanta is the furthest south we go. So
And to be honest, like there's a running joke here in Florida, like, we send all of our undesirables to Atlanta. So there's a Atlanta, Florida line.
so there'll at least be some people in Atlanta,
You're right,
huh?
yeah.
All right.
Now, your fellow team member, Danley, he plays in Philadelphia. So
Mm-hmm.
there
Mm-hmm.
there will be that, home field advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, for him to call Philly home to play a World Cup match where your club team plays. I mean, that's really special. I'm happy for him to have that opportunity, but I'm sure he's just more excited to play any match anywhere. I mean, I'm excited to play anywhere. Like put me wherever. If it's a World Cup, yeah, it's just a great opportunity in general.
Okay. Now,
Mm-hmm.
culturally, like you studied sociology, what
Mm-hmm.
aspects of sociology can you like, I would say, identify in Haitian culture that contributes to like, I don't know, like a cultural divide between Haitian Americans and Haitians?
Um, yeah, I'm not sure if I have a sociological concept to that or construct to that. Um, And I would say, I mean, maybe there's a culture divide, but I know the Haitians that I've met, as a Haitian American, have been very welcoming and very nice to myself and accommodating. And I think having that connection of being Haitian, having the Haitian culture connect us, I think is important. So I'm not sure if that answers your question, but I know the Haitians that I have met as a Haitian, like I was born in New Jersey, as a Haitian American, have been very welcoming and warming. So it's been amazing.
Okay. The reason why is because when I was speaking with Garvin, we were
Mm-hmm.
talking about how, in America, like a sleepover is part of a social gathering. It's considered a social gathering.
Mm-hmm.
But if you tell a Haitian or ask a Haitian, hey, I want to do a sleepover, they look at you like you're crazy because it's like, what's wrong with you? Like, no, like you have a house here, like over
Yeah, yeah.
a sleepover is considered like you only do it if something is wrong. Your house caught on fire, the police is sticking
Got
at
you,
your
got you.
house. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't like the biggest sleepover kid, so I don't know if that maybe it's just like the upbringing and how I was hanging out. So there could be something to that. I probably have to ask my parents more specifically. Maybe they people want to sleepovers and they're just like, hey, no, that's not for us, and that could be the Haitian thing that you're talking about there. So that'd be a question for my parents more so.
Right. Do you
Yeah,
have what's your preferred Haitian dish?
my preferred Haitian dish.
Yeah.
Um, Probably just Jury Jonjon and griot,
Okay.
and then a side of plantains.
Okay. You said that pretty good for
Yeah,
somebody who doesn't speak
yeah,
Creole.
yeah. Hey, everyone knows food. Food is a universal language. Yeah.
Okay. Now what
Mhm.
comes next for you after playing El Paso?
We have a match this weekend against Las Vegas, here at home in Colorado. So really looking forward and preparing for that match. We got a tie down in El Paso this past weekend, but we're really looking forward to try to put on a show for our home fans and get the first one of the season here this weekend.
Right. And there's a Haiti match coming up, friendly against in Toronto, Canada.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah,
So,
against Tunisia and Iceland.
right. So
Yeah.
tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to that opportunity. Again, it's a chance to kind of get the group together, to see where we're all at, get the vibe and the spirits of how the team is feeling. With guys, obviously we're with our club teams all over the world, and then to bring everyone from the Haitian national team together to get some games in preparation for the summer is the most important thing. So I'm excited to be heading up to Toronto to friendlies, preparing for that.
Good, good. And then you
Mm-hmm.
guys will be, together again for the FIFA World Cup, which is
Mm-hmm.
around the corner.